thing on. We have gifts. So Lisa Arsenault, who is with Ignition One, has some cool gloves she's going to be passing out that you can actually wear and use your smartphone at the same time. So we thought that would be a relevant gift for Park City. But I was excited to hear this morning a lot of the talk around data providers, some of it derisive, but just the fact that in almost every session there was discussion about user-level data, understanding the user and how that impacts search. I think it's quite time that the user and the data and the user becomes front and center for what we do as marketers, and of course search. The digital landscape is the biggest cog in that. I mean, data certainly gets a lot of hype right now, and I think rightly so. You know, it's one of the most important things that we're seeing as marketers, and it gets a lot of the hype, but it's really hard and it's really complex, and it's expensive to do right. I love this graph because I feel like we're on the far right-hand side of the information chain. You know, when I started a company called Search Ignite 8 years ago, we were probably on the far left of this. We're trying to figure out the user. And we got really good over the first few years being able to optimize better to the user. And as we got more information, there was more clarity about how to target and market that user. But as data has grown exponentially, I think we've gotten more confused as marketers, and our job's become much more difficult instead of easier. So what we end up with is a crystal clear view of the crowd, but the view looks like this. It's hard to pick anybody out in particular. And so the job is to pick out this guy or gal, one user. One user at a time is how we distill data at Ignition One. One user at a time, and understanding what they're doing before they get to your website and after, understanding how they're engaging on your website once they're there, re-engaging with them after they leave your website with a relevant message based on the products they're interested in and where they are in the purchase funnel, and tailoring every experience for their needs. So whether they're on your website, whether they're on CNN.com, or whether they're on Google, showing them a relevant message for that individual and that user. So I want to bring this back home a little bit and talk about how we do this at Ignition One. The user is the core of everything we do. And so for us, big data, and we have a lot of data, but for us, big data always comes down to aggregating down to the user level and building up tons of aggregated data, but everything's at the user level. So we understand every user that's been on our client's site or saw one of their ads, and we build profiles against them. What they're interested in, what products they're interested in, how long they've been on their site, how engaged they were, where they were before they got there, and where they go after they leave. And we build a score for each user based on product interest and based on their propensity to buy. So this individual user might have a user score of 200 because they've engaged with their website, and that they're most likely to buy shirts, but might be interested in sweaters and handbags, for example. That might inform the landing page that would show up on the website when they go to your site. It also might inform the display creative that shows up when they see a display ad. It might inform how much you're willing to bid on an RTB basis for a search remarketing ad for that user as well. And finally, users that look like this person, the kinds of terms that they search on, the kind of creative you should deliver them on search. And I think that's a relevant segue. What does all this mean for search? Part of the problem is you can't target individual users on Google or on Bing or any search engine. I think the user-based targeting happens on your site and on other websites when delivering display ads. But search being such an incredible engine of driving conversions and such a part of the ecosystem, this is very relevant. And I think it helps to think about the types of data we're gathering and how it's relevant to search marketers. So we don't collect any PII, nor do we want to. But for us, this is some random gray person, guy or gal. We track exposures. Every ad they see on the web, whether we're actually delivering an ad or not, whether they actually click on it or not, we understand what users, we have the ability to deliver display ads on RTB networks. So where they are on the web and what websites they're going to. We understand what they're doing on your website. We understand what kind of devices they're on. Where are they on mobile devices? They on PCs, and where they are in the country and in the world. Plus all the first-party data. We integrate with your CRM systems to map the user data we have, what they do in the web, with data you've gathered from them as a customer over time or as a prospect. Product data that they bought or looked at or put in their shopping cart. And then finally, third-party data like BlueKai. We can marry at the individual level to make a much more rich data set. I heard somebody talk earlier about how BlueKai thinks she's 20 years younger and has the wrong marital status, and their kids are the wrong ages. But you know, for us, this is just an input to first-party data. We talk about your customers, people who have been on your website, people who have seen your ads. We augment that with third-party data as needed. It's not the core of what we do, but I think it's just a part of it. And we take this and we combine the search experience with everything else that user does on the web, whether that be on surfing the websites or whether that be on email, to bid intelligently on a per-user basis based on their interests. And then relating back to search, we can take that and optimize based on engagement scores. We can go beyond ROI. We can say, what are they doing on your site? We track a user score. What types of keywords are most likely to drive up that user score? Most likely to drive up propensity to buy certain products, maybe certain products that are more profitable than others. And we can feed that information into our portfolio optimization system to say, not only can we optimize on a predictive modeling basis in real time based on strict ROI metrics or on things like revenue generated, marginal cost over marginal revenue for search, but also based on engagement. And these soft metrics, time on site, return visitor, the ability to increase your user score along the way. And then once they get to the site, deliver a tailored experience based on that individual user to get them to convert. So everyone here, whether you're a search practitioner or whether you have a broader view, your company is doing more than search. I don't think there's any significant marketer left that only does search marketing. Ignition One manages and optimizes search, and we have the best-of-breed search platform. I look everybody in the eyes, and I believe that. There's great vendors besides us, but we have a best-of-breed search platform. But we also do social. We also have an incredible display platform, cross-channel and inter-channel attribution combined with that, conversion optimization products on your site in a single stack. Our job is to get the marketer out of the business of being a systems integrator into the business of doing strategic marketing. Let us, the data geeks back at Ignition One, figure out how to integrate all these systems. We've done that for you. Single tag, single analytics platform, single user interface. You do the marketing, we do the work. So who are we? Ignition One has its roots over a decade ago, but we've been around under this brand for less than 2 years. So I think it's helpful to remind people that we're a company of first. We were the first company under our net mining brand when we folded them under to make Ignition One along with Search Unite to come up with user profile scoring on your website to create tailored website experiences in 2001. The first, what I would call predictive portfolio optimization back in 2004. I know Fishing Frontier had something along the same lines, and certainly the first transparent portfolio optimization system at the same time. The first to offer smart remarketing based on that user score. The first to have an integrated DSP transparently within the platform. The first to do attribution. In fact, we didn't call it attribution at the time. And in fact, I kind of chuckle when I read our first press release. We're kind of struggling to describe how important it was at the time. We continue to innovate, and we're looking forward to great innovation in the next few years. We manage over $1.5 billion of media for our clients, driving over $40 billion in tracked revenue. 90% of our clients use multiple services, so what's really important to our clients is understanding that if they're going for a best-of-breed search platform, why not also use best-of-breed display and social under the same umbrella? It's just easier and it makes sense, and it's all down to the user level. On an active user basis, on any given week, we are scoring up to 300 million active users on our clients' websites and then retargeting them on the web, gathering information on them on the web, integrating third-party and first-party data, giving them the most rich user experience possible. And we work with world-class brands, and I really hope some of the world-class brands in the room would want to add your name to this list. So thank you very much. Enjoy skiing this afternoon. Appreciate it.
Roger, anybody got any questions for Roger? Anyone? That was quick, man. That was like record pace. No.
I
You know, sometimes people need time to construct a question. You can just spring it on them. And are you going to be here all day, all night?
I'm here all afternoon. Tip your waiters. And now there was a hand that went up in the back.
Okay.
I thought.
Yes, that would be great. Who's got a hand up? Was that Ken Fadner? Yeah, you got. Okay. Roger's here for the duration. Thanks again for everything.